Once upon a time there lived a little girl named Cindy. She lived in a big house with her father, her stepmother, and her stepbrother. Whenever her father went to work or into the village, Cindy's stepmother and brother would treat her poorly and make her do all the chores in the house. They would laugh at her, call her names, and treat her like dirt. One day, Cindy had had enough. She decided that she was going to run away. Her father always spoke about how Cindy's grandmother lived across the forest in a big, beautiful house overlooking the water. So, Cindy decided that she was going to live with her grandmother. She packed up her bag with lots of food and water and extra clothing. She threw on her pink hooded coat and started making her way through the forest. Cindy walked through the forest and up a small hill until she saw a boy chopping wood. "Hi," said Cindy. "What's your name?"
I'm Charlie. What are you doing out here all by yourself?
"I'm running away to go live with my grandmother," Cindy replied.
That's fun. It was really nice meeting you. Cindy picked up her bag and continued her journey. Little did she know that she had left her favorite scarf behind. Charlie found the scarf and tried calling after her, but it was too late. I think I'm going to bring the scarf back to her, thought Charlie. So Charlie took off after Cindy, following the footprints that she left behind her.
It only took about 3 hours before Cindy started to get hungry, so she sat down on the nearest rock and got a snack from her bag. Suddenly, Cindy heard an odd noise coming from behind a tree. She got up and made her way towards the sound. Without warning, a big brown wolf popped out at her.
Hello, little girl, said the wolf. What is your name?
"Cindy," she replied nervously.
Well, Cindy, where are you off to?
"My grandmother's house. She lives on the other side of the forest."
The other side of the forest? That's a long way to go for just a little girl like yourself. Maybe I should join you.
Cindy knew that she shouldn't be talking to strangers, but the wolf seemed so nice, so she decided to let him escort her to her grandmother's house. After all, the forest was a big scary place full of terrifying things. It would be good to have someone protecting her. While they were walking, the wolf started acting a little strange. He was asking her weird questions. So, she decided that while they were sleeping, she would sneak away to her grandmother's house without him knowing.
The wolf woke up soon after Cindy had left him. He was very mad and upset with what she had done. You should never anger a wolf, said the wolf, especially a hungry one. Considering that he was a lot faster than Cindy, he took off as fast as he could in the direction of her grandmother's house. He ran and he ran until he had reached the house. He walked into the house, scooped up the terrified grandmother, and threw her into the kitchen cabinet. He then proceeded to disguise himself as the little old grandmother. He climbed into bed and awaited for her arrival.
After lots of walking, Cindy finally made it to her grandmother's house. She walked in and found her grandmother laying in bed. She found it quite strange that her grandmother looked nothing like the pictures her father had shown her. "Hi, Grandma," said Cindy. "I have come to live with you."
Oh, wonderful, darling, said the wolf.
"Grandma, you look so different from the pictures my father showed me of you."
That's very strange, replied the wolf.
"Yeah, like what big arms you have."
All the better to hug you with, my dear.
"And what big legs you have."
All the better to run with, my child.
"Also, what big ears you have."
All the better to hear with.
"What big eyes you have."
All the better to see with.
"And especially, what big teeth you have got."
All the better to eat you up with.
"Grandmother, what do you mean?"
The wolf ripped off his disguise, and he walked towards Cindy. How dare you leave me, Cindy? The wolf said. Now I'm going to eat you.
"Ah!" screamed Cindy. "Ah!"
Charlie heard a scream outside of the grandmother's house. That sounds like Cindy, he exclaimed. I hope she's not in danger. Charlie ran into the house and saw the big bad wolf who was just about to eat Cindy. He bolted over to the wolf and punched him as hard as he could in the face. He then picked up the wolf, tied him up, and threw him into the oven.
"You saved me!" exclaimed Cindy. They hugged, and Charlie gave Cindy her scarf back. All of a sudden, they heard a noise coming from the kitchen cabinet. Charlie opened it and found Cindy's grandmother there. Cindy was so happy to have found her grandmother, and they all lived happily ever after. The end.
I'm the big bad wolf.